Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Vision Pros. My name is Fletcher Ellingson. I'm your host and coach. And today on the show, I'm delighted, and I mean delighted, to have Markus Neukom on the show. Why am I delighted? Because he's talking about a topic that I think is so timely and is so needed, and that is the topic of stillness. Just a little bit about Markus. He is from the Institute of CFLI, the Catalyst for Legacy and Influence. But you know what? That's not the important thing. The important thing is what Markus is going to talk about. And Markus, tell me why you think stillness is so important.
So thank you first for having me, Fletcher, on your show. The answer is very simple, because it's the missing piece. We are literally at the precipice in society where I personally believe if we continue like this, it will be the end. And we will be the first society that actually managed to self-destroy. There's no need for outer influence of an enemy or anything like that. So we're basically at that point.
Yeah, it's I won't say interesting times. I will say tumultuous times, and like you said, we're on some sort of precipice for sure. Yeah. Tell me about your vision.
So my vision is pretty simple. You mentioned it before. It's stillness. Because, as you've seen in my bio, I've been working as an executive coach and as a business consultant for almost 20 years. And the one thing I always realized, Fletcher, in those numerous, countless calls was there is so much noise. And, when I came to the US, I asked the universe one simple question, and you can tell I'm joking. And it was so deep. A, why am I here? And why am I here? So I asked two questions, why the US and why in general? And the answer I received was very clear. I said, Markus, every single time when there was movement in one of your clients, it was because you led them into stillness. And all the noise died around them. And now I have to clear my throat because it really goes very deep.
Yeah, when people get still, and we should define still. Yeah. Because you don't mean like there's a lack of noise, right?
No. I'm happy to explain it.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Because Fletcher, quite often people ask me, that's like yoga, right? That's meditation. And I said, no, it's the opposite of it. Because I'm an avid meditator and I do yoga. So people get me right. I'm not speaking against either or, but it's a huge difference. Because stillness, it's not being still, it's being in stillness. And stillness means not absence of action. People say, Markus, I am so often in stillness. I'm so often alone. I said, honestly, that's not stillness. That's being silent, and that's being alone. But stillness is, you're familiar with the Heart Math Institute, right? Where yes. They work with coherence. So that's exactly where stillness comes into. It's the coherence between thought and your heart. And everyone who has ever experienced that knows immediately what I'm talking about. Because that's when the channel opens for a very wee, soft voice. And that's your soul talking. So you can imagine when people meet me, like I have a client who says, Markus, whenever I think of calling you, I already go into stillness. Everything around me, all the noise from day to day goes away, dies down. And when I meet you, it's literally like we are in a cocoon. So what I'm providing, and this is my vision, Fletcher, is providing this stillness to as many people worldwide. And what is beautiful, when people have grown into stillness, they become stillness themselves. And you can see where the ripple effect goes into. So I don't need to have disciples or anything like that. It literally happens automatically. So stillness is literally not void of actions and it is the coherence between thought and heart. And when this coherence is here, people sometimes tell me, how do I know that I'm really in stillness? I said, as long as you ask, you're not. Because when you are, you know.
Yeah, I think what you said is key just now, and I really want our audience to hear this. Stillness is the coherence between the heart and thought.
Yes.
There's like this very tangible alignment.
Yes.
Right. And there are different points when we experience this. And it's, I'm even thinking of, for instance, when I got together with the woman who is now my wife, there was an unmistakable alignment. And I know that there were lots of chemicals going on, and things were, but there was this knowing, more than I'd ever known before. There was an alignment where taking action was so easy. It was so natural.
Yeah, and you trusted, right? And from that, action appeared.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. When you experience trust at that level, very calming, and very, very comforting.
Yeah. So now imagine, Fletcher, when this becomes more and more the norm, until it actually becomes the norm, it changes everything.
Yeah. So I love that concept. What if this were not the abnormal event, but it was something we could experience on a regular basis? That level of calm, that level of trust, that level of alignment between the heart and our thinking. What would be possible then in our lives, right?
Yeah, we could literally ask what wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
Because one of my favorite topics on keynotes is debunking imposter syndrome, which literally holds whole societies hostage, because it's such a misnomer, in my opinion. So imposter syndrome wouldn't be a topic at all, because everyone would trust themselves, because they had gotten to know themselves. And, to make it short, how can you trust something if you don't know it? So you need to doubt.
Yes.
And that's what imposter syndrome is all about. Simply, we don't have a bloody clue who we are.
Yes. Yeah. And that leads me into this next question. So leaders, in my opinion, leaders, the two things that leaders are to do is, number one, influence the thinking of the people they're leading, and number two, enroll them into a possibility of what's possible, enroll them into a vision of what's possible. I work with lots of leaders, and I can tell you flat out, after this conversation, what I see missing in much of leadership, and this is not a diss, it's an observation. What's missing is this level of stillness that you're talking about. Would you agree with that?
100%. It's interesting, Fletcher. I was on a call recently, and that person said to me, she was a leadership coach as well, like more than 20 years. And she said to me, Markus, why is it that there are more and more leadership coaches and more screwed up companies? And I said, yeah, you just answered your question.
Yeah.
It's a whole industry that's actually causing the situation the companies are in right now. And the companies don't know better. They just trust whatever they get presented, because there's not much alternative. And the ones who are different, Fletcher, they don't dare to speak up anymore, because the multitude is very noisy. Go on LinkedIn and you will see it. Yeah. Very noisy.
Yeah. So it's really a departure from the norm, what you're talking about. And anytime there's a departure from the norm, you're going against the current. It can be scary, and it can be very unpopular. Yeah. So, but as you say, it is the missing piece. So what would you like our viewers to, our listeners to take away today?
See what's interesting? There is a voice that suddenly comes and says, "Is this it?" Don't ignore it. And when he goes a step further and asks, "Is there more?" Listen, because that's exactly when you are at the precipice where life knocks at your door, at your heart's door, and it's actually your soul saying, "You know what?" And I have whole body goosebumps right now because I went through that so often and I ignored it too many times. But it's literally your soul knocking and saying, "You know what? I'm actually still here, but I'm slowly dying." Imagine how long it has to take until your soul knocks at your door and says, "Fletcher, please listen. This can't be it. There must be more."
Yeah, that's powerful. Imagine, I like the imagery. Imagine your soul knocking at the door, begging you to listen,
Yeah.
begging you to shine a spotlight on it and reunite with it. Very powerful. Can you share with us why is this important to you? I mean, I know you said because we're at a precipice, but I'm curious as to this somehow made a big difference for you. Like you were on a different trajectory, and then there must have been like something that happened where your eyes were opened and were like, "Whoa, this is a difference maker," or "Whoa, I haven't seen this before," or tell me a little bit about that point in your life.
I'm sharing now something which I haven't shared too often publicly, and it might go quite against the norm again. Most people, when they are born into forgetting, entirely forgetting. It was different with me, and my mom knew it, and she was afraid of it. So I knew who I was, and I knew why I was come. 2 years. At 9.5, I experienced an accident which almost killed 3 kids. I was 9.5, the oldest. It wasn't the accident, it wasn't the aftermath. What it actually was a constant reaction of mine, which said, "Okay, you have warned me. I am not only endangering myself, now I've proven I've endangered other kids. So I actually give up my liberty." So my forgetting was deliberate. It was conscious decision. I literally took my soul, brought it into a place, and I said, "Look, they are going to kill you because I can't protect you anymore. I have given up my liberty." So I walled it in. So guess what? I forgot about it more and more and more. But my soul always walked alongside with me and accompanied me all the time until the day came when I came to the US last year in October, where my soul knocked again. And I said, "Markus, I'm actually back." And now it's not just back walking alongside you. Now it's walking you, becoming the soul, and finally doing what you were called to do when you decided to come to this earth in this lifetime. And that was powerful, I tell you.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It
How
is, yeah, but it
fun!
was scary.
How fun to wake up to purpose, right? How
Yeah,
fun to embrace purpose.
yeah.
Yeah, good
I
for
was
you.
literally told that I have to become the steward of Stillness, of the Stillness councils which I lead. I was literally told, "You are no executive coach anymore. You are no business consultant anymore." And as you can imagine, Fletcher, I was a full-blown coach and consultant, and it hurt. And then I said with time, "Does this mean like everything I have worked on is void and nullified?" I said, "No. But now you understand, you first lead people into stillness, and then you can coach, and then you can consult. Because then you're working on the stuff that really matters in these people's lives and companies, and not anymore the superficial, stuff most coaches do work on.
Yes. Yeah. We're not going to just start chasing new strategies.
Exactly.
We really need to embrace this concept of stillness, this coherence.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just spinning our wheels.
Yeah. I can actually summarize it in one sentence, Fletcher. It's so simple. It's remembering who you were before the world told you who you had to become.
Mm.
So it's literally removing all the BS that schooling, society, family, parenting, everything has put on us. Get to the point where you basically strip to the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And that's scary. It is scary. I have a client who asked me, Marcus, what is the price for me to pay? And I say, you will lose all illusion and you will suddenly understand who you are. And believe me, Fletcher, most people are not willing to pay that price.
Yes. What came to me when you said remembering who you were before you were told who you were supposed to be. And this probably is impacted and amplified because I'm a new grandfather for the first time, and I'm seeing, yeah, thank you. And so I'm seeing my granddaughter, Sunny, before she's told who she has to be. I'm seeing her interact with life in a way that many of us have forgotten about. And so when you said that, what came to me was, just again, I know it sounds so simplistic, but just going back to love and connection, like just being a source of love and connection.
I'd love to leave you with a gift.
Yeah.
You might be aware of it. There is this old poet, died long time ago, called Khaled Gibran. And he wrote this one poem, Children. If anyone read Children, believe me, the entire parenting industry would change immediately. It's a very simple concept. You are the bow, your children are the arrow, and that's life. Your job is to pull it back, let it go, and then let it go. Because life will provide for the child's soul. We grown-ups believe, we have to provide food, housing, education. Yeah, that's good. And then we think, okay, now we have to start thinking mindset. Now we have to start ingrain mindset on those little children. And sadly, so early age happens today. This indoctrination. So everyone who really wants to do something good for this world, read the poem Children from Khaled Gibran. It totally changed my life.
I just wrote it down. I'm going to read it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a life changer.
All right. Looking forward to it. Marcus, we're up for our time. It was only a 20-minute segment today, but I'm certainly, I feel certain that anyone who's listening is going to take away something important, or at least it's going to plant a seed and it will grow. Thank you for sharing your this content, your wisdom with us, your experience with us. This is, like I told you before we started recording, this is what we need in the world. So thank you for being a source of contribution.
It's my pleasure.
If somebody would like to find out more about you, contact you, find out what it looks like to work with you, what's the best way to do that?
The easiest way is go on LinkedIn. Just put in my name, Marcus with K, and Neukom, Neukom, and you will see my face immediately popping up on LinkedIn. Send me a connection request and the message, and let's get on a call.
Right on. Thank you so much. And we look forward to having you back. All right.
I look forward to that.
All right, great. Thanks so much for joining us today on Vision Pros. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellingson.
Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself.